Hey there, guys. Welcome to another episode of the MH Performance Podcast. I'm your host today, Miles Harrison. I'm your host today. I am your host all the time. I have no idea what I'm on about. But hey, we are here today. I've obviously done my top 5 upper body movements for a strong upper body. But now we're going to work on the lower half. And I'm going to give you guys my top 5 exercises to build a solid lower body. Now, unfortunately, bad news has struck me. It feels like deja vu. Unfortunately for me, I have done the ligaments in my ankle, and this is on my right ankle. This is the ankle that I broke 10 years ago and had my plates removed. Um, it's a bad way, guys. It is in a really, really bad state. I technically don't have an ankle at the moment. It's pretty much just one big solid balloon. That's very black and blue at the moment. Um, but yeah, I got cleaned out. I got absolutely wiped out in football, which is a big shame actually, because up to that moment, I was actually playing a quite solid game. Um, yeah, yeah, played a pretty decent game. Scored an absolute belter, if I have to say so myself. Um, took it on the half volley, top left bins on the edge of the box. Can't complain. Obviously, the guy saw me as a big threat. And then as I just tried taking it around him, next thing you notice, I planted my foot on the ground and he completely took me out. Somehow didn't get a yellow card though, which I kind of lost my head about, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, so now I am recovering with that. There's probably every single exercise that I've put on this list I am not going to be able to do for quite a period of time. But now it means that I'm going to be started planning my ankle rehab. So what I'm thinking about doing with the ankle rehab is similar to what I did with my left ankle. So once the swelling and the pain has come down and I can start loading it a little bit more, I'm going to start reintroducing it to just more movement. So I'll be getting in some like bodyweight squats in there as well, allowing the knee to pass over the foot. I'll also include kind of split squats, but I'll also get the knee behind the foot. So I'm moving through the arcs and the gait cycle of walking mechanics a little bit more. So I'll try to get a little bit where the foot's moving with the knee and try to do there. Once I've got a good bit of moving and I can start strengthening it, maybe even doing some things like some calf raises through that. Even in some degree using the Bozu ball, because when you have like an injury like that and you structurally damage the obviously the ligaments and the tendons that go along around the actual ankle, we can lose a lot of that kind of proprioception and understanding where that joint is in space. So this is actually probably one of the only times I'll actually ever use the Bozu ball as a part of the rehab scheme. Once I'm probably strong enough to do things just flat on the ground, I'll probably remove the Bozu ball. But then from there, it's all about building capacity. And I'll be doing that through things like light plyometrics, so pogo hops, depth jumps, just allowing the foot to get used to absorbing force and also producing force at a very, very small constraint. But this will be also in conjunction with, in a way, doing things like swimming, whereas late weight bearing and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's going to be a long road haul for me. We're probably going to be looking at another 6 to 8 weeks before I can start doing anything quite serious on it again. And even then, now the conversations are coming to the point of whether I decide to carry on playing football after that. Um, as you can imagine, I've got people very close to me that are saying I should recover from retire. I am 30. I will be 31 when I'm able to play again. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll cross that bridge as it comes, as the people will say. But anyway, let's get back to the episode. So same concept is going to be using for the lower body as we did with the upper body. I want these exercises obviously to be highly loadable, Some of them are generally going to be highly skilled as well. And we're not looking at always from the point of length tension relationships. Sometimes they're going to be looking from a point of hypertrophy, from strength, from a power development out standpoint. So, yeah, instead of me rambling on, guys, let's get straight into it. First one is going to be a very big staple for everyone's leg day. It's going to be the leg press. Leg press purely there for output. Very, very stable machine. Very easy to get themselves into and just load a hell of a lot of weight. When I get a lot of people starting on the leg press as well, first thing I just teach them is foot pressure, making sure that we're in a position where we feel comfortable on the pads and we're driving. I'm not so much fussed about if we're going lower the pads and getting the knee more over the foot, we're going to hit more of the quads. Same with vice versa. If I put my foot a little bit higher up on the pad, we're going to get a little bit more glutes. I'm at the moment just thinking about them. Can they load up the thing? Can I get them strong? And the leg press is generally one of the best exercises for that as well, for developing a really strong lower body movement. Now we're going to go all the way to the completely opposite side. So this exercise, or just say really group of exercises, are the Olympic lift. So the clean and snatches, you guys know it. I love my Olympic lifting. I'm a big fan of the cleans. In my past episode, you know that I put myself a bit of a goal on myself to get 100 kg clean. Obviously, I'm going to have to take that back a little bit, take it a little bit back until I can kind of start loading it again through the ankle. That'll probably be at the end of my rehab when I start reintroducing those again. But the cleans and the snatches are really good tools to teach input, teach your ability, obviously, to understand where you are in space, but for power development, building speed, rate force development. And I'm a big believer of, if you can get good at these type of lifts, you can become a hell of a lot of a better of a lift. Into that, we've got an RDL. Now, I could easily put a deadlift into this position as well. But for me, where I'm just kind of like really loading up the posterior, so the glute and the hamstrings, for me, an RDL is just something that I love using and stuff like that as well. We're going to get a lot of tensions and a lengthened relationship in the hamstrings as well as the glutes. And we can really highly loadable as well and stuff. But also as well, most people don't really think of RDL like this, but I actually really like it as a back and a lat exercise as well. Not so much from a hypertrophy standpoint as well, but in order to perform a good RDL, you need to be strong upper body wise as well. So for me, for a complete posterior exercise, so we're talking about the back, the glute, the hamstrings, even the ankle joint as well, the RDL is a really good hip hinge exercise as well. We're kind of rattling off these really quickly, but the next one is a squat. Now, I don't have any favorites. I think they're all really good. Back squats, front squats. I'm not so much a fan of the circuit squat, if I pronounced that rightly. Just simply think that I don't think the elbow joint is a joint that we really want to be loading that much. But that's my preference. I just think the squat is a really good exercise for building lower body strength. We're going to cross a lot of the midsections when it comes to these muscles, so the quads and the hips. Hips a little bit more on the lengthened side of things as we go a little bit lower down. But if you can get really strong at the barbell type movements of the squats, back squats, front squats, overhead squats, you've got generally everything pretty much most sorted and stuff like that. So that's that. And then last but not least, guys, is a lunge. Now, the reason why I love the lunge is similar to why I love the pull-ups in the other episode. It's very, very highly coordinated as well. Very needs to be skilled. I love putting these at the start of a workout, maybe as a warm-up. But for me, just to be very coordinated through the movement as well. We're going to get a lot of movement through the ankle, the knee, and the hip joint as well as we move from one foot to another. And the reason why I put a lunge in over something like a split squat, because the lunge is truly a unilateral exercising, meaning that we are training one leg at a time as we go through a cycle of walking gait. Or should I say gait cycle, really. Split squat's not really a true unilateral exercise. It's more of a split stance, simply just because, and you can see this on the YouTube, really, both my feet are nice and planted. And yes, even though we are diminishing the base of support by bringing them a little bit more in line, it's not truly a unilateral exercise. And for someone who's done in the past football and a unilateral sport, if I've got any people who are sprinting in a form of jumping or anything like that, or getting down on one knee, the lunges are generally going to be in their program as well. And I just think they are brilliant, really good exercise and stuff like that as well. So there you have it there, guys. They are my top 5 lower body movements that I will put in any program. And you should have it in any of your programs as well. And as just like I did in the first first episode there, guys, was there any ones that you didn't expect? Were there ones that you were kind of expecting? Was there any that you think should be in there as well? I mean, I could have put a load one in there, guys. I really also could have put things like the seated hamstring curl could have been there as a close one for the hamstrings as well. But these, if someone asked me to say, right, create a core set of exercises to build a good solid lower body, these are it. And these are it there, guys. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you've got another 10 to 15 minutes, you might as well watch another episode. So, I'll see you on the opposite side, guys. And as always, improve your performance. I'll catch you in the next one.